Hello and welcome to today's English lesson. In today's lesson, we're looking at money and finance idioms. Let's go to the intro. Now, the focus of today's lesson is looking at money and finance idioms, and the purpose of the video is to give you more range with your vocabulary by learning these fairly common idioms. You can hear or read these idioms quite frequently in English, and of course if you're at a B2, C1 level, you can incorporate these into your vocabulary, as I said, to give you more range, let's say. So the ones we're going to be looking at are cut corners, to cost the earth, to cut one's losses, to feel the pinch, on a shoestring, money spinner, and to throw money at. And as I said, they're all related to money or finance. Now, the first one we can see is to cut corners. To cut corners. And the example sentence, even though we're on a budget, try not to cut too many corners. Try not to cut too many corners. So if you cut corners, it means that you perhaps have a problem with the budget. You need to not spend as much money as you should. You try to do the job in a cheaper way, let's say. You try to cut corners. Now, the opposite of cutting corners is that you spend the amount of money necessary to get the job done properly. And of course, cutting corners is that you try to save money, perhaps buying cheaper materials if you're building something, or something along those lines, let's say. So you try to cut corners. You try to cut corners to do it cheaper. Now, the next one is to cost the earth. To cost the earth. Now, you can also substitute this verb for charge. You can say cost the earth or charge the earth. Let's have a look at the sentence. It costs the earth to buy a new iPhone nowadays. It costs the earth. Now, what this means is that it's very expensive. It's very expensive. So it costs the earth. Now, obviously, we can imagine that the earth is something that's very expensive, so it costs the earth. If you're going to use charge instead of cost, let's say, for example, you go into a restaurant, you can say that this restaurant charges the earth for a cup of coffee. This restaurant charges the earth for its food. So charge or cost the earth, meaning that something is quite expensive. And as you know, if you're going to buy an iPhone or any high-range smartphone nowadays, it costs the earth. It costs a lot of money. Number 3 is to cut one's losses. To cut one's losses. Again, the example sentence. We'll see if we can understand through context what the sentence means. So, to cut one's losses. I think we should cut our losses and sell the business. To cut our losses. Now, what this means is that the business perhaps is not going as well as you thought it would. And if you decide to cut your losses, it means that you abandon the business in order not to lose more money, let's say. So you cut your losses. We should cut our losses. So get out of the business before we lose more and more money. So we're going to cut our losses. The next one is to feel the pinch. John's been unemployed for some months and he's starting to feel the pinch. If you feel the pinch, it means that you're starting to notice the lack of money that you have, okay? So in John's particular case, he's been unemployed for some months. His savings are perhaps reducing, okay? He doesn't have as much money as he used to have, and he's starting to feel the pinch. He's starting to notice that it's difficult for him to make ends meet. Another money or finance idiom, okay? He's been unemployed, so he's starting to feel the pinch. You can also say in a business, we're starting to feel the pinch of the negative economy. We're starting to notice the effects, okay, of the lack of money, the lack of business opportunity, etc. To feel the pinch. The next one is on a shoestring, on a shoestring. Now, you can use this on its own, or you can put a word like budget after it, which is what I have done here. It's hard to run a business on a shoestring budget. To do something on a shoestring is to do it without many financial resources, okay? You don't have a lot of money. You try to do things cheap. On a shoestring. It's hard to run a business on a shoestring budget, meaning that the budget that we have for the business is not big. It's not a lot of money. We're trying to do it on a shoestring. We're trying to be economical. We're trying to run the business with a small budget, okay, on a shoestring. Again, you can put it into your daily context. I try to live on a shoestring, okay? Or it's difficult to live on a shoestring. You need to spend sometimes more money, okay? So on a shoestring. The next one is money spinner. Money spinner. Again, the example. It's not easy to turn a business into a money spinner. You can have an idea that's a money spinner, or a business can be a money spinner. A money spinner is something that is successful and generates a lot of money. An idea. So let's say, for example, you develop some type of application. You develop an app for the smartphone and a lot of people buy it. You can call that a money spinner. You can open a restaurant that people like to visit. It's a money spinner. It generates a lot of money. It's a money spinner. So it's not easy to turn a business idea into a money spinner. Believe me, it's not easy. You need a little bit of luck to have a money spinner. And the last one is to throw money at. To throw money at. So you take your money and you throw it. No, you don't. But to throw money at something. We need to stop throwing money at this project. It's clearly not working. So if you throw money at something, it means that you spend a lot of money on something in order to get results. You throw money at it. Governments can throw money at a project, an infrastructure project. They throw money at it. And perhaps it's not necessarily successful. Sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't. In a business, you can throw money at something. You can throw money at an education of your children. You throw a lot of money at your children's education, for example. So we need to stop throwing money at this project. The project is not successful, okay? It's not working. So we need to stop throwing money at it. We need to stop spending the money on this project. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 idioms with money or finance. Now, thank you very much for watching the lesson. If you have any questions or comments, leave them in the section below. Share the video please on social media. Give it a thumbs up if you liked it. I'll see you in the next video English lesson. Have a good day. Bye.